Hey guys, so after the massive clean-up effort that we did yesterday to get our garden resituated post being away for 2 weeks on holiday, we are ready to plant some new stuff. The garden was looking quite bare prior to my haul this morning of veggies. So in Auckland we've had quite a bummer of a summer really. We haven't had a lot of sunshine. I read the other day that Auckland's getting about 2 hours sunshine a day so far on average this month, which isn't a lot. It has not been great for the garden, but good news, middle of February we're supposed to start getting a lot of sun, more so than we normally would up until about May. So that bodes well for a bumper sort of late summer harvest. So in January in Auckland you can start planting some of your bit hardier brassicas. So I'm going to do some more of them. I've got some broccoli, some cauliflower, a cabbage and some kale for Tom. I did end up ripping the kale forest we had out because it was just covered in whitefly and was getting a little bit woody and quite frankly was taking over the garden, so we're going to go for some more there. You can also plant leafy greens, bok choys, pak choys, radishes, beetroot, things like that. It also says to plant corn, cucumber, courgette and tomatoes, so I'm going to do all of that bar the corn, which is looking really nice. I'm a bit skeptical about the tomatoes, but we'll see how it goes. I got a punnet of 6 because there are no grafted ones left in the stores, so yeah, we'll see how they go. I'll show you where I'm putting things. So in this bed here we've got some more beetroot, Tom's favourite. I've got some funky looking cucumber which I'll replace. I'll see whether we get any more flowers. I'm not entirely sure. We've had a bit of a rotten year with tomatoes, so I'm going to try and put some more in. We've got beans, there's already basil, and over here Tom loves his bright light silver beets, so I've got 2 punnets to put in. He'll go through them like crazy. So here I've got another punnet of the bok choy, and over here in the garden that I hadn't planted up really, I've got some brassicas, I've got some more bright lights which I'll spread out throughout the garden. I've got a cucumber here ready to grow up this lovely trellis. Tom bought a large grade chilli, which is a Scotch bonnet, and here we have a lovely butterfly already trying to lay eggs on my greens. So go away, butterfly. I've got some more beetroot, and here are the kumara that I planted. They are starting to run, and yesterday I came down and lifted all the runners just so that they didn't take root. Over in this garden here, which was where the big kale forest was, I've got some purple beans, I've got some more bok choy because we love it, I've got some basil to put around the tomatoes, and quite frankly I'm hoping to become a pesto queen. Unlikely to happen. And here I have another courgette just to get another one going. There are only golden ones left, so yeah, we'll have to put that one in and see how it goes. Over in here I have, this is the butternut pumpkin I planted before I went away. It's starting to run. There were a few little babies on there, but because it hasn't been that sunny, has been quite rainy, we haven't had the pollination that we normally would have, so yeah, I think we'll just have to see how that one goes. The watermelon along here, we've got some tiny little watermelons on here. We may get some, it's a sugar baby, I don't know, I've never had much luck with watermelon, we'll see how it goes. Over here I've got some more beans. These are dwarf beans. That is a buttercup squash, and I've got some zinnias back here because you know what, why not put pretty plants in. And here is the corn that is actually doing really well. I'm really excited about these. These are the ones I grew from seed, I believe. Yeah, these were the seed ones, which I'm quite excited to see how it goes. And a yummy strawberry. So yeah, I'm really trying to stick with that whole thing I talked about, growing what we eat. We're eating a lot of beans, we're eating a lot of greens and stir fries and kind of light meals at the moment because although it has been rainy, it has been incredibly humid and hot. So yeah, I'll put them all in the garden and it'll look a lot fuller afterwards. So it's all finished. I had to go inside and change my hat. It's really hot today, and the other one had a nice sweatband around there which was not looking too nice, but the garden itself is looking pretty cool. I got everything in the ground, I watered it in, and I also sprinkled some paprika around it. I used a tui product called Performance Naturals, and it's got seaweed and sheep manure and little pellets and things like that, so naturally the dog loves the smell. I don't, but the dog does, and she's been putting her nose through the garden, so I went up and got some smoked paprika and sprinkled it around, and that's kept her out of the garden so far. So I'll show you what things are looking like now. The garden is much more full. Little bok choy soldiers lined up in a row. This garden has some tomatoes in it, some more beans and those bok choys, and I also popped the courgette in there. Over here we've got the curly kale. This is the Scotch blue curly kale that Tom likes the most. Some basil, more kale. I popped a dahlia in, it was sitting in a pot, so yeah, I'll dig the tuber later on, but you know, I just think it deserves to be in the ground. Some marigolds, another tomato, and you can see the paprika just sprinkled around there. If it gets on the plants, it doesn't bother them. Over to the sleeper garden. The corn, still looking amazing. Beans, another tomato, and a random bean. And across here to the corner garden. The front bed here has some marigolds, cabbage, and some very sad looking bright lights. They will pop up quite nicely once they root in. Over here, some flies. All the muddy ground is bringing them in. We've got the bok choy. I can't wait to eat those. Some beetroot that Tom needs to harvest. And over here, again, some more bright lights. The brassica, and then just sitting under there sneakily some more bright lights that I really don't have room for. Some beetroot in here with plenty of paprika sprinkled around it to save them from the dog. Another marigold just tucked in there. Some more brassicas. Those two might be planted a bit close, I might need to sort that out. Purple cabbage, more beans, a Russian red tomato, and some Cavolo Nero over this side. And in that back garden here, I have just popped in some Cavolo Nero behind. They say it can take a little bit more shade than other things, so we'll test that theory. And the worm farm, sitting there, not looking that straight, but as Tom mentioned, we'll need to straighten that up. A lovely looking courgette here, growing on its merry way. And here's a marmite in the garden. Marmite, can you please hop out? Thank you. So planting all done. We'll check in with you guys later to see how they all grow. Hopefully the dog's nose stays up the garden, and I'm going to go and give Tom back his Wurzel Gum a chat.